Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, the Beanie Boy, and today I am going to be predicting 5 superstars who are going to be making their WWE returns and 5 other superstars who might be making their WWE debuts at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Now, the Royal Rumble is in a few days away at the time of recording this, and so I think it's only right, I think it's only just that we go into the world of fantasy booking, right? The world of predictions, as I like to do. Some of these are very shit takes, admittedly. But some of these are actually highly possible, probably definite, depending on who on the list I'm calling out. But without further ado, let's get into it. So I'm going to start with superstars who could be making their WWE returns. Now, when I say the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, I obviously mean most likely in the Royal Rumble matches, both the men and the women. But there are some superstars on this list that could make a post-match return or appearance, but throughout the pay-per-view we might be seeing these names, or at least I'm predicting that we will. The first person on my list is the wife of the man who is predicted to win the Royal Rumble. And that is CM Punk. If you're expecting Cody Rhodes, his wife is also on this list. But for now, CM Punk's wife, AJ Lee. I'm predicting AJ Lee to make her return to the WWE. A video surfaced late last year, of her in training with her hubby, CM Punk. And I think she's still ring fit, she's still ring ready. And whether it happens as a one-time appearance or she comes back for a proper run, which I wouldn't mind, of course. I'm expecting to see AJ Lee at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Up next we have a man who's been out for some time, but a man who I feel is much needed in the roster right now. And I am talking, of course, about the monster among men, Braun Strowman. Now, Braun Strowman has been off TV for a while. I can't really say why. But the last time we did see him was at the Bray Wyatt Memorial Show. And he still looks big. He still looks meaty.
What do you mean by that?
He's a big meaty man slapping meat. As Booker T would say, no meat. Huh? No. I botched it. No bread, no water, just me. That's Braun Strowman. WrestleDrop is gonna have a field day with this one. But I see Braun Strowman making his illustrious return. And like I said, he's much needed on the roster. There are no big guys on the roster. I mean, we're tired of seeing Otis and Ivar every week. And so maybe a Braun Strowman return could do the company a world of good, and could do the main event scene, or maybe even the mid-card scene, a world of good. So Braun Strowman is definitely on my radar for WWE returns at the Royal Rumble. Up next we have another big guy, whom I miss dearly, and I know a lot of people do as well, Big E. Now, I've always been the type that supports superstars bowing out, while they still can, not because of circumstances but I feel like Big E deserves one more big moment, no pun intended. And if it does happen that, as my phone goes off, could be Big E telling me his return.
You're not that guy, pal, trust me, you're not that guy.
If it does happen that Big E's time is very much limited, which I'm sure it is after the injury he suffered, then I think one more good run, maybe a Royal Rumble appearance, throwing a few people over the top rope, gyrating his hips. It's not enough, but I think it's good enough, because we can't expect a full run from Big E, especially if he's physically incapable of carrying out a solid run in the company after his injury. So I think a great Royal Rumble appearance would be wholesome and very much needed to cap off what has been an amazing career for a guy who used to be Dolph Ziggler's bodyguard, So for me, Big E making his return at the Royal Rumble would be great. Up next, and someone who is heavily rumored to be returning at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view is Mercedes Moné, aka Sasha Banks. Now, am I excited about it? Of course I am. It's Sasha Banks, but I want to know which version of Sasha Banks we're getting, because I'll be the first to say she has done great work in Japan as Mercedes Moné, and she has really reinvented herself. And so if we're going to go back to it's boss time, I don't think I want that. I really don't think I want that. I want Mercedes Moné to come in to the WWE and carry on her run as Mercedes Moné, which, like I just said, has been phenomenal. And if we get Mercedes Moné, the character, the gimmick, the ring work as Sasha Banks, then that's also fine. But I don't want to see Sasha Banks returning just to play second fiddle to like Charlotte and Becky, you know? And her returning would be great in the sense that we're having the best of the women's division, you know, because including Mercedes Moné, we also have Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Bayley, Bianca, Io, we have Rhea Ripley, we have a solid women's division. And the inclusion of AJ Lee, which I mentioned first in the video, could really bolster the women's division in the WWE. So I feel like Mercedes Moné returning to the WWE is very much welcome. Finally, on my list of possible returns is a very possible return. And if you smell what he's cooking, then you're probably predicting him to return too. Of course, I'm speaking about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Now, the story is he wants to go out and eat, and he wants to sit at the head of the table. Now, apparently there are no round tables because everyone wants to sit at the head of the table. And so I think the best thing to do, honestly, would just to get like a round table so that everyone sits around the table and there's no head of the table. But because there are no round tables and everyone wants to sit at the head, Dwayne Johnson feels the need to come back and challenge Roman Reigns. Now, this has been rumored for so long, and now that it finally might happen, I'm okay with it. The one thing I don't want with The Rock's return is him winning the damn Royal Rumble. I don't want to see The Rock winning the Royal Rumble. I'll say that for free, for a fact. I don't want him. Hell, don't even put him in the Royal Rumble match. Have him come out after Roman Reigns successfully retains his Universal Championship, then they have a stare down, then they have a confrontation, then they have a contract signing, then they fight at WrestleMania. That would be perfect. Perfect. Don't have The Rock win the Royal Rumble match, please. And thanks. Now moving on to superstars who could be making their debuts at the 2024 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. These are superstars who have never wrestled in the WWE, and if they did, I can't remember personally. Let me know down in the comments. First and foremost, we have the already signed Jade Cargill. Now, Jade, coming from AEW as a monster, you know, as someone who has had an amazing run as their TBS champion with over 50 successful title defenses. So the rep is there, and that's the reason why she was brought into the WWE, because the rep is there. Now, I'm hoping that she enters in the Royal Rumble match and has a great showing and hopefully goes on to do great things. I don't see her winning that match, but hopefully that match shows people who are not yet familiar with Jade Cargill how good she actually is. Still a bit green, still not on the level of some of the superstars on that roster, but she can get there, and I think she has all the capabilities and the abilities to do just that. Up next on the list, I have someone who's also already signed to the company, acting as the general manager of SmackDown, Nick Aldis. Now, Nick Aldis, for those who don't know, is a well-traveled WWE superstar. Not WWE superstar in general, wrestler, right? A multi-time world champion, the man who has been credited with bringing prestige and honor back to the 10 pounds of gold NWA world champion. And so him having a run in the Royal Rumble, a bit controversial, a bit sticky, because he's an authority figure on screen, but I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind. He definitely can still go, because prior to signing as SmackDown General Manager, he was an active wrestler. So I think he can still go, have a good showing in the Royal Rumble, and then put his suit back on the next episode of SmackDown. Up next, and someone who I've already said I am going to be mentioning in this video, is the wife of the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Now, Brandy Rhodes is also an active wrestler, and she has always been by the side of Cody Rhodes. It's actually very shocking that we haven't seen Brandy side by side with Cody to this point. And I think the best way to introduce her would, of course, for her to be in the Royal Rumble and have a great showing there, you know. And of course, she's probably not going to win the thing, but it's a great way to introduce her to the greater WWE audience and have her side by side her husband, which is the sight that we've been seeing on the indies for all these years that Cody was wrestling outside of the company. So I'm really excited at the prospect of Brandy Rhodes becoming a full-time wrestler, and I'm imagining their entrance at WrestleMania when Cody Rhodes finishes his story. That's going to happen. That is going to happen. But yeah, Brandy Rhodes making her debut in the WWE Royal Rumble. That's a prediction. Next, we have someone who is so out of pocket that they're probably in a bag. I don't know what that line was. I don't know what that line was.
I'm done. No!
Someone who we haven't really seen. The last time we saw this person, she was competing on Impact Wrestling TNA now, and she was competing against Trinity for the Knockout Women's Championship. This person joining the WWE would be groundbreaking, to say the least, because she would be the first of her kind. She's the first of her kind everywhere, actually, but she could really make an impact, no pun intended, in the WWE. I'm talking about Sunny Kiss, and I know it's very weird. I know you guys are probably asking, where the hell did you get that name, or why the hell I think of Sunny Kiss? I'm just thinking of the way WWE is structured right now, and it's going to be difficult to put her in a match against the likes of Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley, even though she identifies as gender fluid and her pronouns are her and she. But I'm just thinking of all the firsts that WWE is incorporating or is trying to incorporate, and a superstar like Sunny Kiss on the roster could definitely be a forerunner for the firsts that the WWE is trying to promote. Now, of course, the WWE is more PG and is more structured and is more, boxed in. But I don't know. I just have this crazy idea of Sunny Kiss in the WWE. It might not happen, probably won't happen. But, I mean, how old is Sunny Kiss? Like 30, 31? So time is still there, and like I'm saying, man, it could be really cool to see someone like Sunny Kiss on the WWE roster. Finally! And the person who most people are keeping their eyes on, because they are possibly the hottest free agent in pro wrestling. You know him. You probably don't know him if you don't watch anything other than the WWE. But I am talking about Kazuchika Okada. Sorry. Okada is one of, if not the best Japanese wrestlers to ever lace up a pair of boots. And his contract has just run out with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and it has been announced that Okada is leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling. And so the opportunity is there. Now, of course, being the superstar, the caliber superstar that he is, many companies will be competing for his signature, namely AEW, namely TNA. But I don't know, I'm sensing him coming to the WWE. I really am. And if he does, and if he's booked right, which I feel Triple H has the ability to do, then Okada could become the biggest thing in that company. And I don't mean that as an exaggeration. He can go in the ring. He's got time on his side. And oh my goodness, the matches he could have with Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura and Cody Rhodes. So, Okada making a surprise entrance in the Royal Rumble could really break the internet and could really give the WWE a fresh breath of air, because he is what the company needs. I know Triple H and the company are very invested in Japanese superstars, and it doesn't get more talented when it comes to Japanese wrestlers than... So I'm hoping that it happens, and if it doesn't, I'll be disappointed. But I think if it doesn't happen at the Royal Rumble, it's gonna happen sometime later. But Okada to WWE, here we go. I felt like Fabrizio Romano there. Crossing the sports, making the sports cross. Anyway, it's been your boy, the Beanie Boy, and that was my list of the 10 superstars who could be making either their WWE debuts or their WWE returns at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Are there any that you're thinking of that I didn't mention? Let me know down in the comments below. If any of the superstars or wrestlers that I named are so crazy that you want to tell me I'm a douche who doesn't know the product, go ahead, let me know in the comments down below. But until the next one, Royal Rumble live stream is happening, confirmed. Here we go. We'll put out links and posters and all that on our social media platforms, but we will be live streaming the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, so join us for that. And until the next video, it's been 2